Childhood should be a preparation for adulthood, not a performance for adults. And this goes to what I was just saying, which is, children are constantly on a stage. They're constantly performing for us. They're constantly having to do something that is a referendum on what a good parent we are, how terrific we are. Look what our son is doing on the lacrosse field, on the stage, in the classroom, at the birthday party. But it's not their job to perform for us. It's their job to prepare for adulthood. And many times, part of preparing for adulthood is deviating and departing exactly from what our parents expect of us, unplugging and disinvesting from what mom and dad take pride in. At a certain point in development, and adolescence is usually that point, they don't want feathers in our cap. They want feathers in their own cap. And sometimes the feathers that they select and they put in their cap don't make us very happy, might not make us proud, but at least it's their cap. What I have learned clinically over the years is most kids would rather be failures and be themselves than be successful in living someone else's life. And I would say that that's true of adults as well. If you're a success but you're living somebody else's life, it doesn't feel like success. It's an empty, it's a hollow experience. But even if you're failing, if you feel like you're inhabiting your soul, you're taking up residence in your own being, that's a sense of being human. That's a sense of fullness and wholeness. The person of the parent is more important than the person as a parent. We can lecture them and sermonize them and instruct them all we want, but they're watching us all the time. They're scanning us from the moment they're born. And it's our presence as an individual, what we do or what we don't do, that they're really learning the most from. So a lot of times parents are so busy focusing on being parents, they lose sight of themselves as people. And it's the people part, the person part, that the child is really learning from, really taking a good look at, and trying to absorb or assimilate. The parent's nurture must conform to the child's nature. We all have a way that we would like to nurture our child, and it has something to do with how we were raised and our own personality. If we tend to be someone who's extroverted and outgoing, then it's easy for us to want to nurture in that way. But the problem is sometimes our child might have a different temperament than we have, or different interests. Our job as parents is to mold and accommodate and align ourselves with the nature of the child. And when we make that engagement happen, when we make those adjustments, when we don't rigidly insist that they adhere to the axioms that we believe create a good life or a successful life, that gives children the flexibility, the malleability, the suppleness to move on with their lives and become who they're destined to become. And we must convey that it's not what you have and what you do, but who you are that really makes a difference. It's who you are, it's how you love, it's how you give and receive love that ultimately creates a successful life. And as we'll see as we go through this presentation, the emphasis on achievement, on accomplishment, all these things often take us away from the very experience of giving and receiving love that ultimately enriches us, that ultimately gives life meaning.